Hey guys, Alex from 7th Hour Films back again with Mob Psycho 100. Last time around, we had Mob and Reigen, a grand... What the hell was it called? A grand... Sushinoko appears. That's it. Thank you. So, we ended the conflict with Claw's 2nd Division. Mob's powers were temporarily passed to Reigen, which was pretty interesting. And, yeah, he was able to basically destroy them with facts and logic, showing that, hey, he has powers, he can beat them, and he's still just a commoner. You're not special for having powers. So that was pretty cool. But yeah, so that was interesting, and but then the guy with the mask was beaten by Sho, who was later revealed, to us at least, to be the son of the worldwide leader of Claw. So there's that. But yeah, so yeah, everyone pretty much went their separate ways as they all prepare for Claw's next strike, and that brings us on to Season 2, basically. So yeah. So yeah, very, very great, very interesting. I'm excited to get into this season. I think this is going to be really, really good. So yeah, I know things look a little different, right now on the video. That's just because, I am not using my, my camera. My old phone to record. I got a new phone, but I'm not going to use it to record. I'm instead using my webcam. I know it's not the highest quality, but it's going to do for now, until I find something better, which I'm sure I can. I'm sure I can find something better than this in this day and age. I got this webcam years ago, so I could easily find something a little bit better. So, but I managed to get it pretty much in the same place that I had the old camera, so I'm glad for that. So yeah, things just look a little different, but overall, the reaction's going to be exactly the same. It is the first episode of the season, so if you want to watch my full unedited reaction to this episode of Mob Psycho 100, you can, down in the description, and in the pinned comment. So yeah, there's no footage in the full-length version. You'll have to provide your own. Basically, you click play on the full-length version, and then it'll give you a count-in to click play on the episode, and it should sync up pretty easily, and yeah, you can watch it and hopefully have a good time. If you don't want to do that, you can always watch the edited version that's also down in the comments, and that will basically, that'll be a normal thing. It'll have footage, it'll be edited, it'll be all nice and good, and yeah. And when you're done with both of those, or whichever one you decide to watch, you can come back to this YouTube video, and I highly encourage you to come back for the discussion. So that's pretty much it. Why don't we go ahead and jump right into this episode of Mob Psycho 100. Here we go. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I'm glad that, I'm sure, later in this season we'll get another, encounter with Claw. I'm really glad that we're taking a break from it, though, And not just, to get back to, not just to get back to the stuff, the killing, spirits and stuff, exercising spirits and stuff like that. But it's nice to get back to just some of the, I guess, adolescent issues, And because it's one of the things that this show does so well, So yeah, that was really, that's so good. That was really, really good, So yeah, interesting stuff. I have to say, at first I really enjoyed Mesato when she was first introduced. I will say that's kind of going down as the story progresses, mainly just because I don't know, I kind of saw her as this sort of interesting ally, almost sort of a, I don't know, maybe a Lois Lane type, just because she's sort of a reporter. But the fact is, she really is just trying to get, she's trying to get a big scoop, and she'll basically sacrifice Mob in order to do it, So so that's a bit of a problem. A bit of a problem. But other than that, I guess she's okay. But yeah, I mean, even this, it's like, okay. Which, I mean, okay, so, yeah, because she wants, like, there was a whole, like, rabbit hole, basically, of what her plan was. So she wanted Mob to be the leader of the Psycho Helmet group, but she needed to improve his, I guess, leader skills, basically. So, to do that, she thought that he could become the student council president. But but the incentive for him to do that had to be, well, it'll impress Tsubomi, you know? But yeah, so, and then that just led to Mob going out with Emmy. So, which I guess, so, see, I'm very curious about the end, you know? I'm very curious about the end of Tsubomi watching this happen, you know? Like, it makes me curious, like, okay, so did she set this up? Like, was she the one who had, did she set it up so that Emmy would go do this, you know, on the dare? She set up the dare, basically, in order to do it. And I don't know. I really don't know, you know? I really am not sure. But I guess that could be, that's basically it. But why? I don't know. Why is she doing this, you know? Because it's obvious, you know, the Mob has these feelings for Tsubomi. But, I mean, I guess it's a difference of... honestly, it's the difference of... I mean, he has a crush on Tsubomi. You know, he likes her, thinks she's pretty and everything. And they did know each other when they were kids. But at the same time, like, I feel like his feelings for Emmy now are more... I don't want to say they're not as vain, but I guess they're deeper than that, you know? Like, I don't want to say, like, him with Tsubomi is like a shallow crush, basically. But I mean, to an extent, you could argue that, I guess, you know? I don't know how to like describe that perfectly, but yeah. So that's interesting. That's just an interesting thing that it seems like it was Tsubomi who set this up. But why is she doing that for Mob? Because this doesn't have anything to do with Misato's plan, you know? So, I don't know. But that was an interesting thing, you know, just seeing that it's like, you know, I mean, it's a thing of like, you know, the reason that they actually, I guess, broke up, you know, it's a complicated thing because, you know, she just, you know, came clean like, hey, I've been lying to you. I only did this so that, you know, I only did this on a dare. But you started, you know, walking me home and being very nice, you know? But it was a problem that, you know, she finally decided to break it with him because he wasn't, you know, he wasn't letting out his actual feelings, you know? Like, he was being nice, and that kept her there, you know? She could see something there, but he never went any further than that, so she was like, you know what, maybe this isn't even worth it, you know? And it was only then when he stood up for her and was like, hey, you know, I need to treat the things that I care about, I need to treat them very importantly. And he went and he picked up all that stuff because he cares about her, you know? He finally basically expressed any sort of feeling for her, you know? And she appreciated that and she liked it, and that is what, you know, won her over, and not, you know, the powers. So, which is the exact opposite from what happened with Tsubomi in the flashback we got in season 1, where she was won over by the powers, but then some other dude comes along and she ditches him, you know? Which, that's the thing, it's like, because now this whole thing with Emmy is now the opposite of what happened with Tsubomi, now it's all the more interesting that it's like, well, wait a minute, why is Tsubomi doing this, you know? So, it's an interesting thing. So, yeah. So that's all really, really interesting. I like that. And yeah, and it's also just so interesting with the whole thing of like, like, no, he had feelings. Like, he was enjoying it. Like, he was generally happier, like, and everybody noticed, Reigen noticed, his parents noticed, like, everybody around Mob noticed, like, hey, he's more cheerful. Isn't that crazy? He's showing a bit more of his emotion. That's a great thing for Mob, And that is really, really amazing. And it was because he was enjoying his time. But the only person he couldn't fully express this with was Emmy, And it was only at that moment that he finally realized, like, oh my God, I need to do something, I need to do something. I need to show her these feelings. And he did. And she accepted that. And that's just great. That is absolutely amazing, So, but why was Tsubomi there? That's our big question now, was that part of her plan that somehow benefited from Mezato's plan, So, very interesting stuff. Other stuff this episode that was good. I mean, I liked the beginning of, Mob realizing, like, oh, I can order the plants and give them, basically use a signal, higher than the spirit and take control. That was very clever. I like, I do like how, yes, you can grow food very quickly using psychic powers, but they're not good. And it's like, okay, so that you can't just end world hunger right there with psychic powers, But it was worth a shot. Or in this case, you can't, start a small business with this, That was always something I theorized during part 5 of JoJo. I was like, could Golden Wind, like, solve world hunger, I don't know. I mean, I guess because plants are alive, and Golden Wind could make that, but could that then, grow food, tomatoes, vegetables, fruits? Could Golden Wind do that? I don't know, but psychic powers can, but they're not going to be good. So, I mean, I guess in a famine, if you absolutely need it, then sure. Of course, you still need the seeds on top of that. You can't just make it out of nothing, unlike Golden Wind. So anyway, little side note there. I did like the thing where when Mob goes up to give his speech, I love that the Body Improvement Club is right there for him. They're like, let's go, Kageyama-kun! Let's go! Yeah, like that. That was really funny. I enjoyed that. It was also interesting that the guy who resigned as student council president, that he went back, not of his own idea. It was their idea, like, you need to own up to this, you need to fix this. So, if you're elected again, then you will fix this. And it's like, and that makes sense, honestly, because it's like, well, there is that, but I was also thinking just at the beginning, just like, well, if they elect him again, then it is their choice to keep him, So it does bring up the question, is he going to be elected student council president again? I'm gonna say yes, because the other two candidates they weren't anybody, so yeah. So that was interesting, but overall, really, really great episode. I'm glad just getting back to the more simple, like, everything with Claw was good, and there were great, character arcs with Mob and Reigen and Ritsu. All that was really good, but I'm really glad to get back to, I guess, just a smaller episode, but still a really good episode, and, talking about these adolescent issues, while also still being comical, I love when it cut back and all their faces are, like, weird, and I'm like, okay, and they just kind of walk off. Like, that's really funny, so I really enjoy that. That's, honestly, it's one of my favorite things about this. And, going into this show, knowing that it was made by the same guy who did One Punch Man, I thought that was, I was really excited because I really enjoyed One Punch Man, but this, I think I can go ahead and comfortably say this is better than, and I like One Punch Man. I've reacted to the first 2 seasons here on the channel, but honestly, I think this is just so much better. Like, this is just really, really damn good. So yeah, I'm excited to see where we are going this season. But yeah, that is basically it. With all that being said, I'm Alex from 7th Hour Films, and I will see you guys next time. Take care. Alright guys, thanks for watching this video. There's a bunch of links on screen if you want to go click around any of those. There's a playlist for all of my Mob Psycho 100 reactions, as well as another video you can go click on if you want. There's also a subscribe button and a Patreon button on screen, as well as other links in the description if you want to go check out any of those. See you guys later.